All right, welcome. Once again, Jessica Riverson. My company is Permission to Charge, and I'm very excited today because I'm going to teach you, I'm going to tell you my stats, things that I have accomplished over the past year using Facebook. 60% of my clients are coming from Facebook now. And I'm going to introduce you to the woman who has taught me almost everything I know about Facebook. So I'm really excited to share her with you, with all of you. If you would tell us, hey Ray Ray, tell us where you live, what your specialty is, so that we can answer any questions that may arise. And there's a little button that says tell a birdie. So if you would go ahead and tweet this, let other people know that we're talking about this topic, because I know this is a huge topic. So many people are struggling with getting engagement on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on my Facebook mentor, Alina Vincent, and introduce her. And then I'll share with you my stats. You're going to be amazed by what I've accomplished in the past year using Facebook. And then after that, Alina will answer any questions that you might have about how you can improve your Facebook engagement. So I'm going to bring on Alina. Hi, John. Hi, Mike. Hey, Tina. Let's see if we can get her on here. Hey!
A couple of extra
How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, and thank you for hosting this. This is
awesome.
awesome.
Isn't this fun?
I can't wait to hear what you think you learned from me.
Well, I was just taking, well, I'll save this for I'll get to that in a moment, but I was just taking that assessment, which I'm not going to say anything about it yet, but it's actually amazing what I have learned. And I know I'm scratching the surface on everything that you've given me to, curriculum wise. So if I've done this well, if I was a better student, I would do even better. So, well, tell us who you are, Alina, and then I'll share all my stats.
Sure. Well, I'm Alina Vincent, and I'm a business and technology strategist. And Facebook, people have been calling me Facebook marketing expert. And my company is Business Success Edge. And I pretty much help people with growing their business using the right technology and making it very simple, very step-by-step, and very practical. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing Facebook or any other technology for years, or this is your first day, there's always something you can learn. So that's kind of my motto, and I help people to get to their success fast using the right tools.
Absolutely. And don't you think that technology is one of the biggest blocks that we have as entrepreneurs today?
Yes, that's probably.
I was so stuck with, this year I've gotten onto Instagram. I'm way more active on Facebook. I wasn't even doing those things, and I knew that I needed to be more active and consistent, but I wasn't because of the technology blocks. I think people that are maybe behind a little bit from where I am, they go, oh, but you do this and that. It's like, I am not techie. I'm not techie. I'm not techie. So, but actually I got to rephrase that. I have a new mantra that is, I am techie. My new mantra is, I am techie. I am techie. But for the longest time, I've been having the old mantra, which is, I'm not techie. I can't do it. And that was really blocking me from what was possible in my business. So I think what you do is so important. Hey, Rima, we've got a lot of people that I know on here. Sue, yes, that's Sue's mantra as well. So yeah, we should all develop the mantra, I am techie, because if that's stopping you, your mindset is first. If your mind is telling you that you can't master technology, then you can't. But if you start saying that you can and you learn from Alina, then you can. So
yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with, if you understand where you're going, then you can either figure out the steps to get there or find somebody else who would do it for you. But unless you understand the big picture and what you're trying to accomplish, you can't find a VA to do it, because they'll only do what you tell them to do.
That's right. That's right. I think that's a good point. If you know, for example, your goal is list building, then you figure out, okay, which technology am I going to use, and you master it. And one of my biggest I guess, tip for success is pick something and master it. So I've really focused on Facebook primarily, and I still, I'm scratching the surface on how I can utilize it. But I think in the past, I tried to do everything. I tried to do Twitter, and then I tried to do this and try to do that. And now my two things right now is Facebook and Blab. And I also use Instagram. And from Instagram, things get tweeted and posted onto Facebook. So I don't try to master everything. And I'm very transparent about the fact that I don't tweet a lot. I mean, Blab is obviously connected to Twitter. But just stick with one platform that you can master and get good at that before you try to do all the other ones, Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, I'm going to share. Thank you. Thanks, Jessica. I see a lot of people that have been on some of my other blabs. And I think this is maybe my 5th or 6th blab. So I know, Alina, you're going to be on here all the time because I know that you're going to love it. Okay. So I'm going to tell you all my stats. If you like what we're saying, you can give us props. See these little hands? I'm giving Alina props right now.
Nice.
So, yeah, on my first blab, I told everyone to clap for me, but that's not what it's called. It's called props. So, learning all the lingo here. Yes, Sue, I love blab too. It's actually really fun. So another quick thing is if you all would press the little blue Telebird button, this will let everyone know about this blab that's going on right now. And let's see. The other thing I was going to say is follow Alina so that you can be notified the next time she does a blab. And follow me as well if you're not already, because I'm on here pretty consistently now too. All right, so I've got this notebook here. These are my stats that I've written down. So I'm going to go through them. And if you have any questions, Alina, I'll answer them. Or if anyone else has questions. And then I know you have some good stuff to share too. So, sure. And by the way, I have until 1 o'clock Pacific. So we have about 25 minutes here. All right, so I have a spreadsheet where I calculate where my leads are coming from. And I have recently calculated that up again, and 60% of my discovery sessions, I call them consults, but I know a lot of coaches say discovery sessions, are coming from Facebook. And although I am currently running a Facebook ad campaign, that's very new, right? Recently, I wasn't running any campaigns for a while. So the majority of that 60% is not from a Facebook ad campaign that costs me money. It's actually from posting in Facebook groups. I'm really big on Facebook groups, posting on my own page, posting on my personal page. I know that I probably break some of the rules, but I find that wherever people are watching you and following you, that's probably where you should post. So, but yeah, 60% coming from Facebook. Also, I have been able to, I'll give you a great story. 2 weeks ago, I posted in 5 or 6 groups that I'm in I posted an offer, and I made sure that I was allowed to post that in these groups. So I read the group guidelines. And I offered my discovery session audit because a lot of people have trouble converting those discovery sessions into clients. So I posted that I was offering a free audit, and we'll answer that question in a moment, Jessica. By the way, if you have a question, somebody remind me that knows Blab better than I do. You have to put the letter Q and /, and then you put your question. I'm going to try it and just make sure that it works. No, I didn't do it right. Maybe it's /Q and then question. I know somebody knows how to do it. You do /Q. So if you put /Q and then your question, thank you, Matt, that will alert us that there's a question that we can answer. So I think some of you are asking, what kind of posts that I post. I can't really show you because I can't share screens, but let me think about how I could show that to you guys. But anyway, I made a post about offering a free discovery session audit. And within 30 minutes, I had 2 people booked on my calendar for discovery sessions. So I have been booking a lot of discovery sessions through my posts on Facebook. And I think what really makes a difference for me is I really know my ideal clients. And fortunately for me, there's a lot of groups where my ideal clients hang out. And I think that's the key, is you need to know where your ideal clients hang out. You can't just post it wherever. Hey, everyone that's joining. I'm going over my stats for the success I've had with Facebook, and I've got my Facebook mentor here too. So the other thing that I have accomplished is I started my own Facebook group, and I went from 0 to 375 members, which I think is great. And it did take a few months before some of those people actually hired me and joined some of my group programs or wanted to have a consultation with me. But that's with anything, right? It's relationship building. So I built a Facebook group. I have also enrolled clients who I have met through Facebook groups that have signed on for programs that are $10,000 or more. And by the way, everyone, these are all my stats right here on this beautiful notepad. I do have it all in an Excel spreadsheet too, but this was easier for me to look at. The other really cool thing is I've been asked to do telesummits, podcasts, radio shows. I do get asked for that on a regular basis because I've been visible on Facebook and positioned myself as a credible expert. I also ask for a lot of opportunities. So whenever I see a podcast or a radio show that looks like it would be a good fit for me, because what happens is when you're in Facebook groups, people post, hey, I'm going to be on such and such podcast. If I see that someone posts that, I will immediately, if it's something that I'm interested in, it seems like my audience, it would fit their audience, or we share a target market, I will immediately private message them and say, hey, I'd love to be on your show. This is my topic. Are you looking for guests? And people that do podcasts and radio shows are always looking for guests. So usually they say yes to me. So I also find when I find those opportunities, I forward them to my clients too. And I say, hey, reach out to this person. I think your topic would be good for their radio show. And on a podcast or a radio show, sometimes people will reach out to you to get a discovery session. So that's another way that I'm booking consultations or discovery sessions originally through Facebook. Like, it's kind of all starting through Facebook. So we have a question. Do you link to your own site for these audits or send out any downloads? What do you have to do to start consulting? Okay, that's a really big question. The part about what do you have to do to start consulting. So I'm going to break it down. When I am offering discovery sessions or consultations, the audits, what worked for me was to directly link to my online scheduler. But I have to say that those are groups I already had built a relationship in. So in general, you don't want to just make an offer for a discovery session and post your online calendar link. You can get away with it sometimes if you've developed a relationship or if it's your own group. But I don't do that all the time. And I do see people doing that all the time, and it could come across very spammy. So you wouldn't want to do that all the time, and you wouldn't want to do it in a group where nobody knows you, So
if I can chime in on that as well. Because I just did it, and this is the first time I've even offered the coaching to my group. I have a group that's pretty newish. I started it in January, and now we're about 700-800 people there. And just 2 weeks ago, I just said, you know what? I'm starting a group coaching program, and I'm not going to give you any details, but if you would like to work with me, here's the application, because I didn't want everybody just scheduling time, because my time is valuable. So I actually made them jump through hoops. Yeah. And because I've spent half a year building the relationships and giving values and answering the questions, people already knew that they wanted to work with me by the time I asked them that question. So there's something that Jessica said. It's all about building relationships. It's all about helping and coming across as non-salesy and non-pushy. And then every once in a while, you make an invitation. So if you would
Yeah.
like a little bit more of me, here's the link.
Yeah. And I saw that when you posted that, and I saw it and I thought, I think this is the first time she's ever posted that. So Alina gives tons of value, and I can totally see that, you know, after you've been developing this for so long, you know, when you do make an offer, you've created that pent up demand. And Alina's really good in her. Will you post the link to your Facebook group too, Alina?
Oh, sure. And it's free. Anybody can join. Just make sure you follow the rules. So every Facebook group has rules on the right-hand side. So check that out before you start posting. But other than that, if you want to grow your business, I would love to have you in the group. So I'll do that.
Awesome. And I'll post my group in a little bit too. Mine is only for women entrepreneurs, but Alina's group is men and women, and they're all really awesome people in that group. Well, I want to just say one more thing about the question that came up. Alina said that, you know, she wanted to have people apply to talk to her. So I get this question a lot, and I always say that it depends on your goals. Sometimes, depending on what I'm launching or offering, I want to talk to as many people as possible. So I'll just give people my link. Other times, you know, maybe you're more busy, or you already have a lot of clients and you can only take on a couple more. And so you might want to have them answer a lot of questions, or go to some kind of consultation page where they have to answer questions. So, and if you guys want to see an example, permissiontocharge.com, I'm about to revamp it, but you could see the questions that I have people ask on that page. And then there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, okay. Another really cool story. Within the last couple of weeks, I did a webinar on a Saturday about my program where I teach people how to book discovery sessions and how to sell, how to enroll clients in your programs through discovery sessions. So I was really excited. It was a Saturday afternoon. I had just finished, and I was feeling pumped up that I had just done this webinar. And so I posted in a couple groups. I said, hey, I just did this great webinar, and I put a screenshot. By the way, Alina, you taught me how to do screenshots a year ago. I did not know how to do a screenshot.
It's so valuable.
I got screenshots of everything. So
it's actually, if we can just share a really practical strategy. Anytime anybody gives you a testimonial or a message or email, or you just have a screenshot of your article, or somebody mentions you, screenshot it and repost it and revalue. Because if you did, let's say you spoke somewhere in a group and the organizer just posted a picture of you or something at the event and says, this was like the best presentation ever. The only people that would actually see it probably who went to that presentation, especially if they're in a small group. However, if you capture it in a screenshot and repost it on your main page and say, oh, I'm so excited, I just got this testimonial. Now everybody who follows you sees it. So it's a way to keep leveraging those good comments and the exposure.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things I learned from you. And like I said, I feel like I've implemented like this much of what you've taught me, because there is so much to learn. But that is one of my favorite things to do. So that's actually what I did. I took a screenshot of me while I was doing the webinar, and I used Webinar Jam, so the video was on. So it was a picture of me talking, doing my webinar, and I posted it in these groups, and I said, hey, I just did this great webinar on how to book discovery sessions and how to convert discovery sessions. And if you're interested, private message me. Well, like 10 or 12 people private messaged me, and I gave them the link to my webinar. I didn't even make them opt in. And then I went to sleep I went to sleep that night. The next morning, 2 people had purchased my sales program, my group program, $497 group program, so it's $1,000. And that was really cool, and I think I spent 15 or 20 minutes posting, and then I personally responded to every single person. I had people messaging me, I want the webinar, and I would give it to them, and then they would watch it, and then a couple of them bought. So that was awesome. It was really great. So it was a more hands-on approach. There was some labor involved, but I created a relationship, or at least the beginning of a relationship, by privately messaging and going back and forth. And I asked them questions. Swell Designers asking me, do I post these on various channels? I actually do. The post that I'm just talking about, I posted on Instagram, but I have to tell you, I think the best response I always get is from Facebook. But nowadays I'm making sure that it's going to Instagram and Twitter as well. But Facebook is where I'm more present. So that's where I'm getting the engagement. If you guys would all press this button that says tell a little birdie so that we can share this blab with more people. Hey Darren, did you pitch your program through the webinar? Yes, I did. I did pitch my program in the webinar. Okay, so I have a couple more stats. At the beginning of the year, I've been using Facebook to fill my group programs all along, but at the beginning of the year, in January, I decided to do a mastermind that was $197, just a very low price point thing. And all I did was post on Facebook, and it was a Think and Grow Rich mastermind. People love that book. And I had all these people just enrolling in it from Facebook post. I mean, I posted a link to the sales page, but I think I had 12 or 15 people or something in that particular program. So that was really cool. And then
and Jessica, by the way, thank you for the reminder. So smile. I'm taking a screenshot of us blabbing.
Okay, let me smile then.
Awesome, got it.
Okay, make sure you send it to me too.
Yeah.
So hey Gary, hey Watts. I want to remind all of you, please go ahead and follow Alina, because she's going to be getting on Blab and sharing more of her wisdom more often. And follow me because I am also on Blab. So Alina, I think one thing that we should talk about is your assessment here.
Sure.
I figured it out. So I thought I would share a couple things and then have you talk about it. At the beginning of this Blab, I've been sharing all my stats, right? All these awesome things. 60% of my clients coming from Facebook, booking discovery sessions left and right, 10K clients. And so Alina recently gave me this assessment, and I printed it out so you could all see it. Well, at the beginning of this Blab, I said that I have taken Alina's programs that she offers. This is my second year because I took it and then I signed up the next time. And so I'm always learning from.
Only been 8 months?
8 months.
Yes. So it's not like it's been years.
It feels like it was like, well, you know why? Because it was.
You learned it and you learned it again.
Yeah. Well, also because it was, wasn't it at the end of 2014 and then the beginning of 2015?
No, we actually started on January 5th.
It's all 2015. Okay.
It's all 2015. And you started seeing dramatic changes within probably 3 or 4 months.
Oh, immediately. Yeah. Actually, right after I met you, I enrolled a 10K client through a Facebook group. And I thought, wow, this person met me through a Facebook group. And I wasn't even nearly as active as I am now. So that's my whole point is I've taken your trainings, but I've barely scratched the surface. Like just what I've implemented has made such a difference. So as I was filling out your quiz and I was giving myself a grade on how I'm doing, I'm so glad that I'm still in your program because I'm like, I still need to improve this and I need to improve this. So if I can do as well as I'm doing I'm scoring myself 5 instead of 10 on a lot of these things because I still have more to learn. But even just what I've learned has
making a huge difference.
Many results. So I want you to tell everyone, what is this assessment? Why would it benefit someone to take this assessment?
Sure. This pretty much, the whole assessment came about because people don't know what they don't know. So they always say like, oh, do I need to take your program? And so I have the program that Jessica keeps talking about that's called Facebook Traffic Explosion. And it's a year-long program where we go through pretty much everything Facebook related. And I see a lot of questions like, what do you post? Do you create templates? Which tools do you use? All of that is in the program. But I get a lot of questions from people saying, well, I'm using Facebook. Do I really need it? Or I have a VA who's helping me. Do I really need it? Or I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not going to be creating all that stuff. So all of those questions are pretty much geared towards to see, are you leveraging Facebook to the best that you can? Are you using it optimally to grow your business, get the most exposure, and get high-paying clients? Like 10K clients is not bad. And what as I was creating it, even for myself, I was like, I know I should be doing it, but I'm not quite doing it, so I need to be doing more of that. So even for me, it was a great reminder of so many free options that are available on Facebook. So one thing I want to point out is none of the stuff that I teach. I mean, we touch on Facebook ads, but it's all organic. It's all word of mouth. It's all just talking to people and creating connections. So there's 12 questions on the assessment. And if you go through them, you'll definitely know if there's something you're doing really good and you should be proud of yourself and pat yourself on the shoulder and say, yay, I'm ahead of the curve. And it will also give you some ideas on what you could improve.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what it does is it gives you a snapshot of where you are with your activity, because the reality is we're spending a lot of time on Facebook, and is that time well spent? Are you actually getting a return on your investment? Are you creating relationships that are going to turn into an invitation to a podcast, turn into a discovery session, turn into a joint venture? I didn't touch on that. I've actually connected with joint venture partners through Facebook as well. So it was really interesting a while back when I was sharing some of my success on Facebook, and I had someone say, oh, Facebook isn't the thing, it's LinkedIn. And I was like, well, I get a ton of business from Facebook, so I'm sure you can master any platform and get business from it. But, I had someone saying like, Facebook's not professional. You should, LinkedIn's more professional. And it's like, no, that's not true. My ideal clients are hanging out on Facebook and they're in Facebook groups. And so that's where I am. I'm talking to them.
Yeah, Facebook that's your water cooler. That's where everybody hangs out. There's so many. Like everybody's on Facebook every day. So you should be there no matter what business you're in.
Absolutely. So I have gone and pasted her, for those of you that want to get a snapshot and give yourself a grade on how am I doing? Like, am I doing things that are actually going to make me money, help me create opportunities? I've posted the link to the assessment. You're going to get a score. And then from there, you're going to know what you need to focus on, because I scored myself really harshly. So if I can get all these awesome results here with knowing that I have, even more I can learn, which is why I keep, stay learning from you, then, you can learn so much from this assessment. And so I want to make sure all of you go and take the assessment and tell us how you scored. And hey, Joe, and tell us what else do you want to share about the assessment or what comes next? I'm just seeing if we have questions here.
Sure. If you take the assessment, I will also make you an invitation for a free webinar that I'm doing next week. So I would love to see if you want to learn more specifics on what to do on Facebook, what not to do on Facebook. It's simple. Just take the assessment and you'll get the invitation to the webinar as well as you're getting the assessment. But in general, even if you just don't know if you need more, don't know if you're doing it well, one of the things with the assessment, I realized a lot of people say, oh, my post went viral, or I have 10,000 followers. And then I ask them, how much money are you actually making on Facebook? And they go, what are you talking about? So it's not about likes. It's not about how many people shared your picture of a flower. It's all about, can you engage people in conversations that they want to find out more and learn more and hire you? So everything I teach is not about like how to go viral or how to make your doggy picture shared 1,000 times. It's all about how you can have like 600 likes on your page and make tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you can have tons and tons of followers and not make any money. And that was actually something on here that I forgot to say on my list. To this day, I had a discovery session the other day, and this person said, I've been following you. And I'm like, you're following me? So it's really funny because I know some people have been following me for a few years, but I think it's when you don't know what you're doing on social media, you kind of feel surprised that someone would have seen what you're doing. I feel like a lot of us, when we start, we're behind the computer and we don't realize people are watching what we're doing, right? And so it's just been such a fun, it's been something that I feel honored when someone says, I've been following you and I watched your webinar and I did, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, you know, that's really great. And so I think what you've really taught me and all the other students is how to position yourself as an expert using social media, in particular Facebook. So it's really important. So we have
1 minute left.
Thank you, Media. We have someone that's loving it. Darren, yeah, Darren's awesome. Darren has over 10,000 followers, but he's not monetizing that. So, and Darren and I had a discovery session the other day. So it's so true, right, Darren? Like, you know, just because you have those followers doesn't mean they're converting into clients. Facebook is a business for the company. Why not for us? Yeah, for sure. Why shouldn't we make money from Facebook too? Awesome. So I'm so excited for all of you. I offer 50. Okay, awesome.
I'll post the link again.
Yeah, post the link again so you guys can take the assessment right away. I want to make sure that you get a snapshot. Follow Alina because I know she'll be on. I know she's hooked now, right, Alina?
Well, I've watched a few. I've never actually ventured into doing it, but yeah, it's coming.
I get the sense that you're going to be hooked.
Yes, it's actually really exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool. Awesome. Okay, well, I've just got one more moment and then I have a coaching call. So if you guys would give Alina lots of props right here.
Oh, look, we're even. Okay, we were for a second.
Yeah, well, we got about 1 more minute left. And then go ahead and tweet this out. There's a little birdie. And for those of you that have just joined us, please go ahead and follow me and follow Alina so that you can hop on next time. We're sharing some great information. I am also going to share my permission to charge community, which is my Facebook group for women entrepreneurs who want to charge their worth.
And actually, if you want to see what we're posting, the best way is go like our pages, join our groups.
Yeah, if you want to see what we're doing. Posting, totally, join our groups because that's how you're going to know. So there's Alina's group, there's my group. The link to the assessment is there. I think we've given you all everything that we can today.
And connect with us on Facebook. We're there a lot.
We're on Facebook, yeah. All right, well, thank you, Alina. This has been so much fun. Let's definitely do it again. And thank you so much to everyone that took time to be here with us live. I hope you'll follow both of us. And I hope to be on some of your blabs as well. And we'll see everybody soon.